So, I thought I might make my dream season death battle list for my 200 subscriber special, because we recently hit 200 subs. Well, we actually hit about a little more than that, but that's because I'm lazy. So, yeah, I just decided to do this. Quick rules though. For starters, I'm only gonna have 2 Marvel vs. DC fights. They're gonna be 20 episodes and a joke episode. So that's, or more accurately, 19 episodes and a joke episode, making 20 episodes overall. There also will be a Halloween episode, so yeah. Without further ado, let's begin. Starting off with the season premiere, it's going to be Lloyd Garmadon versus Avatar Aang. I chose this instead of Lloyd versus Korra because I just think this is a lot better. Not only are they both teenage boys that have mastered different elements and have been taught by multiple different teachers, most of which who have been on their team, they also have access to different super forms, for Lloyd being the Golden Ninja and for Aang being the Avatar state. There's a lot you could do here, considering that Lloyd knows a bit more elements, and apparently, according to Versus Battle, he does have some universal feats via scaling to the first Spinjitzu Master. He should take this, but you could just have a lot going on. You could just have a lot of their moves bouncing off of each other. Fire counters fire, Lloyd shooting electricity and can redirect it and shoot it back. Lloyd doesn't know water, so Aang can take advantage of that, but Lloyd has ice, so he can freeze it, but then Aang could also freeze water or something. I know Katara can do it, but I don't know if Aang can do it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, when it comes down to final battle, to the final part of the fight, when they go into their super forms, I'm 99% sure that Lloyd takes this. In terms of animation, I'd probably say hand-drawn, because while Ninjago has had some hand-drawn sections, it's never been really good, but, I was thinking that if we were to add some hand-drawn sections, they'd do it, if we were to have Lloyd as a hand-drawn character, they'd probably do it similar to what the Monkey Kid did with their hand-drawn characters, kind of they're still Lego, but they look and move like humans, but they still have those weird little hands. And Avatar's a cartoon, so it obviously belongs in hand drawn as well. Sprites would just not do it justice. Episode 2 is Greninja versus Rano. This is actually one of my most wanted. I chose this mostly because I love Greninja. He's my favorite Pokemon, and Rano is my main in Rivals of Aether. And they're both frogs that are expert fighters that are connected to the element of water, because Greninja's a water type, and Rano is known as the poisonous pacifist, and he uses that poison ring he has around him. In terms of animation, I would probably say sprite. The Rivals of Aether sprites are really good, and the DBX sprite for Greninja was also fairly good. Too bad it was tied to a episode that it's fine, but not that well animated. It's really slow. In terms of the winner, I'd probably say Greninja, mostly because you can scale him to other Mega Pokemon like Mega Tyranitar and Mega Charizard X. Especially when he's in the Ash Greninja form. Although I don't know if they'll give him that because he doesn't have a trainer with him. They could use the excuse, well, this one Greninja did it in the past, or this one Greninja can do it in Smash, so most likely some Greninja can do it. And since we're looking at the full potential of the character, we're gonna give him the Ash Greninja. So maybe Greninja wins if they give him Ash Greninja, but maybe not. I hope Greninja wins, because again, he's my favorite Pokemon, and Rivals in Smash, or Rivals in Death Battle would just be amazing. Episode 3 is Hera and Baymax versus Hiccup and Toothless. It's another fight between two duo characters, which I really wanted to see after Ratchet and Clank versus Jak and Daxter. I really like that fight. It's in my top 10 favorite fights. So yeah. The similarities here are pretty obvious. There are a duo of characters that include a flying character and a character that rides on the other character. In terms of animation quality, probably most definitely 3D. I really don't see this working out in either sprite or hand-drawn. I mean, hand-drawn can work for Big Hero 6, but not, How to Train Your Dragon. And in terms of who wins, I want to say Hero and Baymax, but I'm not really sure. They probably win. I mean, it really depends on what you give them. I mean, for Hiccup, it's pretty obvious. You give him his little sword, fire sword thing, and for Toothless, you just give him everything you can use. Baymax has flights and rocket fists and has mastered a ton of different martial arts. And Hero, this one is going to be getting into a little bit of awkward territories, because I haven't seen the show, so I don't know if he can do anything there, but I do know that in Disney Infinity, he can use his microbots, so I don't know if they'll give him those, but anything is possible. So I don't really know who wins. This one's a little more of a recent episode that I thought of, so if you haven't seen Free Guy or Ready Player One, then spoiler alert. So, like I said, this is Guy versus Wade Watts or Parzival from Ready Player One. Similarities are characters in a video game that can use multiple different items from video games and movies. So, like, again, spoilers. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to spoil it for those who haven't seen the movie, because you really should see the movie. It's really good. I loved it. There's my quick mini review for you. In terms of who wins, I have no idea. And in terms of animation, I wanted to say live action, but it just wouldn't work, so 3D would probably be best. Maybe if they gave, maybe if they made it hand-drawn, maybe, but I prefer 3D, because it works a lot more than hand-drawn or sprites, so, yeah. Carnage versus Kaneke is episode 5. I was gonna put Carnage up against Alex Mercer from Prototype, but I feel like he would be better going up against Cole McGrath. So, the similarities here are mostly just characters who have red tendrils and eat people. I really think you can do a lot with this fight. I mostly just picked this fight because I really feel like Carnage got did dirty in his last fight. And yes, I do think Carnage versus Lucy is wrong. Frickin' fight me. But it just, I really want, and I really think that bringing in Tokyo Ghoul as a new franchise would actually work well. I think the winner here is Carnage. He pretty much stomps, but at least it's a Shadow versus Ryuko bringing a new franchise, so that's nice. Kratos versus Dante takes up episode 6, and, well, yeah, this fight would just be awesome. Well, for starters, they're both hack-and-slash icons that people really want to see fight each other. They both have really powerful weapons, and a lot of said weapons. There's a lot you could do with this fight. You can have Yamato clash with the Blade of Olympus, you can have Kratos' gauntlets, I don't know what they're called, against Dante's gauntlets. I don't know, he's got so many of them. But really, it comes down to power. You can have the Devil Trigger go up against the Spartan Rage. You can have just a lot with this fight. And it's just so cool. Honestly, I don't know who wins. I mean, a lot of people say Kratos is out-reversal because of the World Tree thing from God of War 4, but I honestly think that is total BS, because, just no. And a lot of people say Dante wins if they use Shin Megami Tensei Dante, then he's gonna win. But if they don't, then I'm pretty sure Kratos might take the win. In terms of animation potential, it can be a really fast-paced fight. It can be like a kind of mix between like Hulk versus Doomsday and Dante versus Bayonetta, which would be cool. Like a fast-paced fight between Dante and Kratos with the speed of Dante versus Bayonetta, but then you can have like Kratos just like Hulk smashing everything, trying to land a hit on Dante, and when he does, it really hits him back. And Dante being Dante wouldn't take this seriously, but once he does, he would really let loose. And it would just be amazing. Just speaking about it makes me all really excited to see this fight in an episode one day. So yeah, that is episode 6, Dante versus Kratos, or Kratos versus Dante. That's what the thumbnail says. And we have reached our first Marvel versus DC fight of my dream season. Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna. All in all, pretty sure Wanda stomps here. Similarities are, they're just both Marvel and DC magic users. Terms of fight animation, probably 3D, but I'd be fine with sprite. Just do it good. The last time we saw a fight between two Marvel versus DC female superheroes, that was Batgirl versus Spider-Gwen, and if I ever think about that again, I want to blow my brains out. Before you say anything, yes, this is Nemesis Bloodreich's. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I am terrible with pronunciations. This is Nemesis's most wanted episode. And honestly, I can see why. Now, for starters, I love Destroya. It's one of my favorite Godzilla villains. And I don't really have that much of a connection to Iris. I do like Gamera, but again, no real connection. So, Destroya versus Iris. Well, it's a really cool matchup. Nemesis really sold me on that. They're enemies of Godzilla and Gamera that were made by the consequences of mankind's problems. I.e., like, the oxygen destroyer for Destroya and something else for Iris. I don't know. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know that much about Gamera. I know Gamera and I like Gamera. I like the Turtle Boy, but I just don't know that much about Iris. That's why I think the winner here would probably be Destroya. And the fight has to be 3D. The last two Godzilla fights were 3D, and they were amazing. Especially Godzilla vs. Gamera, so yeah. And we come to the end of the Kirby trio. Mennonite vs. Zero, or Zero vs. Mennonite, is a fight I have wanted for a while. Mostly because I've wanted to see Mennonite in Death Battle. He's one of my favorite characters. Not my favorite. Bandanity is my favorite. But he's probably gonna fight Pearl or Undyne, so... Anyway, they're both sword fighters that are friends with characters who can copy abilities. In terms of animation quality, probably sprite. Or in animation style, probably sprite. I really feel like there's a lot you can do. You can, of course, have the swords clashing. You can have Mennonite double his speed with Metaquick. You can have Zero use his time stop on Mennonite. And I'm pretty sure Mennonite wins here, since Death Battle themselves has already confirmed that Kirby characters like DDD and Kirby, or just DDD because they didn't mention any multiversal feats for Kirby in Kirby vs. Boo. But in the pop-up corner, they said that Void Termina was a multiversal threat. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure Mennonite wins here. Unless they find some heavy BS to make Zero pull the win, but I doubt they'll do that. A lot of people have been looking for a Kirby loss, and this is not it, so I am sorry. Episode 10 is Ben 10,000 versus Dark Danny, or Dan Phantom. I like that name, Dan Phantom. Anyway, these similarities are pretty obvious. They're the future versions of the main characters who are a lot stronger. There's a lot you can really... I know this... There's a lot of people clamoring for Ben 10 versus Danny Phantom, which is just not fair since that's a total stomp. So I decided to go for the next best thing. In terms of animation, I would probably say either hand-drawn or sprite. I think... Because the sprites for Ben 10 versus Green Lantern are beautiful. Especially for Ben. But the sprites for Danny Phantom versus Jake Long are... Let's just say they're rough around the edges. But I really feel like if we use the sprite style from Ben 10 versus Green Lantern, this fight can be amazing. And even then, they've still done some pretty cool puppet rigs. So, I mean, Steven vs. Star was a good episode, and that was puppet rigged. But I still think this animation should be done with the Ben 10 versus Green Lantern stylus rights. In terms of who wins, I probably say Ben 10,000. Mostly because while Dark Danny does have the Ghostly Whale, Ben 10K has, like, a lot of different things. A lot of different aliens over the years. I'm not giving him Alien X for this fight, because he didn't use it. We're going to be focusing on the classic series version, so he's going to get, like, aliens like Heat Blast, Wild Mud, Accelerate, Diamond Head, Forearms, Cannon Bolt, Buzz Shock, Spitter, if I'm remembering. I'm just trying to go off these from my memory. You also use Waybig and Snarrow. I'm pretty sure there's more. Arctiguana, he's used Arctiguana. So you can have those aliens against Dan Phantom, and it'd be a lot fairer. I'm not going for freaking Alien X, because that's just not fair. So, yeah. I actually really like this fight now, not gonna lie. I actually really want this to happen. So, after our mid-season break, we come to my rematch fight, Luigi versus Tails 2. Pretty easy. They're the sidekicks of the main characters, who, the first, that being Mario and Sonic. They also got a rematch that was really good. I love it. I'm going to talk about that on my birthday, so keep an eye out for that. Yeah. In terms of animation, it's gotta be hand-drawn. I mean, because, like, Mario vs. Sonic was an amazing fight. And it was a really good episode. A lot of people are going to disagree with me on that because Sonic lost, but hey. The winner here is obviously going to be Luigi. He's just a lot stronger than Tails. But still, pretty fun. Also, we're going to get new calcs for the Mario and Sonic series now. Yay! Because they lowballed them heavily in Mario vs. Sonic. So, yeah. Mechagodzilla Battle Royale. Some of you might be asking, why didn't you do Godzilla Battle Royale? Simple answer. I want to see Mechagodzilla's fight. So yeah, they're just the similarity. They're just all Mechagodzillas. This would be between the Showa Heisei era Mecha G's, the Kiryu, who is my favorite, and Monsterverse Mechagodzilla. There's a lot you can do. I do think that Kiryu might win, either him or Monsterverse Mechagodzilla, but it'd just be a lot of fun to just see giant robot dinosaurs kicking the crap out of each other, I'm not gonna lie. It'd be like Godzilla vs. Kong. A dumb movie, but you just love it. You just love it. Oh my god, I'm gonna piss off somebody with this. Yeah, Mario-kun versus Archie Sonic. Why did I choose this one? I know why. Because I want to see this. I want to see Mario-kun in Death Battle. They're the OP versions of Mario and Sonic that appear in the comics. Honestly, I think Mario-kun might win. A lot of people say Archie Sonic wins because he can do a lot more than Mario-kun. But honestly, I don't know. I think Mario actually might take the win on this one. And it'll finally bring the end on the Mario versus Sonic match forever. Oh my god. So yeah, I think Mario might win this one. Mostly because he scales to Bowser in the manga, and the Bowser in the manga defeated the mangaka, and that is like a 5D level feat, and Archie Sonic is also 5D, so it's a lot more equal than people think. So yeah. This is just a fight that I just decided to choose for some reason. There is another Sonic battle on here, but we'll get to that when we get to that, so yeah. This is my joke episode of the season. Baldi versus the Imposter. Okay. So, for starters, they're both characters who start out as innocent people, but then become killers as the games go on. It was a tie between this one and Slenderman versus Octodad. Thank you, Biffweed. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Imposter wins, mostly just because he has more, like, a gun and a knife, while Baldi just has a ruler. I mean, I guess you could give him some of the other items, like the grappling hook, the W-Dino Squeed. Don't really know why that would be useful in a fight. The alarm clock, the B-Soda, the Zesty Bar, all that stuff. You could give it to Baldi, but I really don't see why you would. This list has gone from a serious list of episodes that I want to just this. But yeah, this is the joke episode. Among Us is just popular, so yeah. This one was pretty obvious. I mean, come on, this is obviously going to be the Halloween episode. For starters, I mean, this is just, look at this. This is Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees. They're both masked killers who wield sharp blades, who go around murdering people and always end up dying at the end of the movie, but then revealed that they survived somehow. I really do think, well, for starters, Jason obviously wins. I mean, the dude is really strong. Dude survived getting kicked in the crotch. Not only that, but his crotch is apparently hard enough to hurt Freddy Krueger's leg. So, yeah. There's a lot you can do with this fight, surprisingly. I mean, you can have... I really do think they should focus more on atmosphere than fight. I mean, yeah, you can have, like, a couple hand-drawn fights, but still, I think atmosphere would be a lot better. In terms of animation, definitely 3D. You can use the models from either Mortal Kombat or Friday the 13th, the game for Jason, and Dead by Daylight for Michael. So yeah. It's pretty cool. I just really want this as a Halloween episode. Well, I promised another Sonic episode, and I have received. Movie Sonic vs. DCEU Flash. Now, I do think they should do this either when Sonic 2 comes out or when the Flash movie comes out. At the time of this, I'm pretty sure Movie Sonic wins. And this is pretty obvious, the connections. They're both the movie versions of our favorite speedsters. Like, come on. And I really do think that this is the episode where DC finally loses against another franchise that isn't Marvel. Either that or Death Battle is just gonna have some word, or we're just gonna have some words between me and Death Battle. This has definitely got to be a 3D fight. You could use the models from Sonic Dash for movie Sonic, or you can just make your own. I'm pretty sure you can find 3D models for them. So, yeah, I just really want this fight mostly for the fact that it's finally an episode where DC could possibly lose. Because, okay, a little bit of a rant here. I really do not like watching DC fight other franchises in Death Battle because it's so obvious who's going to be the winner. It's gotten boring. And I really don't like it. That is why I chose this. I chose this to see if there was some way that DC could lose in a fight. I know that makes me seem like a salty fanboy. I know that, but I don't care. I just want to see DC lose once against a franchise that isn't Marvel. Otherwise, it's just not going to be fun for the rest of time. That, and I want to end movie Sonic is my favorite version of Sonic. Yeah, I said it. Fight me. Stick Figure Battle Royale is definitely one I want a lot. Now, a lot of people... Now, this is from Biff Wheat's video. So, it was from his video, 25 Death Battle episode that I want. So, go check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. It's a really good episode. That is why the Second Coming is here, not the Chosen One. For starters, I have grown up with at least 3 of these stickmen. I've recently watched Animated versus Animation, and I grew up with Henry Stickmin and Fancy Pants. We used to play them at school with our teachers. It was a lot of fun. So these 3 obviously have a really deep connection with me. Animator versus Animation is probably my favorite YouTube animation, period. Just ever. Nothing will ever beat it. And especially since episode 25 came out yesterday for Animation versus Minecraft, I am just really hooked on this fight. For starters, I did a little bit of research. And yes, that means I looked on Versus Battle. I know it isn't, 100% accurate, but it's the only thing I can really use this because I don't have the time to read through thousands of comics to find feats for you guys. Sorry. And I'm pretty sure the Chosen One wins, or the Second Coming wins this. Not only has Versus Battle finally given us proper feats for the Second Coming, but looking at it, he just blows them all out of the water. Fancy Pants obviously comes dead last here. I mean, he is able to shatter stalagmites with his pencil, but it's just not enough. That puts him at wall level. Next comes Red. And his best feat, according to Versus Battle, is contributing to the giant high five that destroyed 19 city blocks, according to a news article. That would put him at multi-city block level. And he was able, and assuming he did his fair share, he would probably be contributing half of that. So just look up the energy, how to destroy 19 city blocks, or just look up the energy, how to destroy a city block, times that by 19, then divide it by 2, then you get your energy. Boom, there, you're done. Then, Henry, and his best feat, puts him at large town level. And according to Versus Battle with explosives, he comes up to 7A, a tier 7A, or mountain level. And then we get to the Second Coming. His best feat was blowing up a mountain, which has been calculated as a high 7A or large mountain level attack. Plus, he has a lot of different weapons. You can have him use like the hammer, as you see in the thumbnail, with his pencil. You can have him use the Minecraft weapons like the sword, creative mode. You can like the final fight in Animation versus Minecraft episode 25, where the Second Coming uses creative mode to do a lot of stuff. It's really cool. Really, go check it out right now. Pause this, go watch it, come back. It's really good. The animation is stellar. Alan did an amazing job. So, yeah. Plus, not only that, but Second Coming has been able to tank hits from a champ who Death Battle previously calculated as, well, a mountain-level character. And yeah, that's really all. I do think the Second Coming wins here. I hope he wins, because he's my favorite, and I love him. And yeah. That's it. King Shark vs. Tiger Shark is the second and final Marvel DC fight on this list. For starters, I mean, this one's pretty obvious. They're both superheroes based on, they're both supervillains based on sharks, and they are both from Marvel and DC. In terms of who wins, I would probably say King Shark, and I hope so, because thanks to the Suicide Squad, which I might want to do a review on, he has become my favorite DC character. I love him to bits, and I don't really have much connection to Tiger Shark, so yeah. But yeah. I mean, that's it. Just, I mean, I suppose the animation, I suppose 3D would work. Just don't do a Hulk versus Broly and have it be 3D with incredibly powerful characters, but, like, terrible sound design that doesn't really convey their power well, so it just falls flat. Hulk versus Broly was still a good episode, though. Okay, so, quick disclaimer. I know a lot of people don't really want to be talking about Overwatch right now, especially after the whole Blizzard case. So, if you don't want to hear anything about Overwatch at all, then just skip this part and get to the next matchup. For those who want to stay, Spy versus Sombra. Probably my favorite TF2 versus Overwatch matchup, with my favorite TF2 character and my, like, sixth favorite Overwatch character, I guess. For starters, they're both characters who can go invisible, and they both utilize that invisibility to travel around and murder people. They're also from FPS games as well, like I said, Overwatch and TF2. Spy probably wins because he has his Electro Sapper, which can just stop any and all technology from working, so if Sombra tries to, like, if Sombra turns invisible, Spy can just use the Electro Sapper and turn off her invisibility, and then he can just go invisible and backstab her. Or he can use the Dead Ringer to fake his death and then finish the job there. A lot of creative ways. I really hope Spy wins because I love him. He's part of, like, part of the most heartbreaking comic panels ever, and he's just a really funny character. And for my season finale, Samus versus Master Chief. I know, not the most destructive fight, or not even the most badass fight, but this fight I chose specifically. Mostly because Metroid's getting another game. Okay, I'm joking. I chose this fight specifically because it is a tribute to the guy who basically helped Death Battle come to where it is today. And when I say that, I don't mean it literally, I mean he was like an inspiration. And he also created Ruby, so yeah. Monty unfortunately passed away And I really think, like, he passed away, like, a while ago, so I know this is a bit late, but I really think this is the best way to for a tribute to him. Because while Ruby versus Mako would also work, I feel like you would have to do either a lot of bullshitting, excuse my language, to get Ruby to win, or B, have his creation just die. I mean, I know Ruby characters have died before in Death Battle. Looking at you, Weiss. Only failure of the group. Unless Ruby dies to Mako, but... This just feels a lot cooler. Not only is Samus one of my favorite video game characters, just period, but I remember I once watched Haloid, I think it was called, and it blew my mind that someone could animate like that. And it was just so mind-blowing to me. And that's why I feel like this fight would be the perfect season finale. Because it is not only a tribute to Monty Uam, but it is a tribute to Death Battle as a whole. Having Samus Aran on 3 times and having her win 3 times, would make her the first combatant in Death Battle to win 3 times in a row. Or just 3 times in general. That is something special. And I just really like Samus, so sue me. Whew, boy, that was a very long video. We're coming up to 40 minutes as I'm recording this final section. Thank you all so much for watching this. My 200 subscriber special, I cannot thank you guys enough. Next goal, 300, here we come. I just want to thank you all very much for watching. Leave your personal Death Battle opinions down below. Leave whatever episodes you want. From the weird, to the wacky, to everything in between. I love seeing what other people think. So, yeah. I guess that's really all I have to say. Aside from the fact that I will be starting to play video games on the channel. I'm going to be making some Smash montages with Greninja, again, my favorite Pokemon. Might do one with Samus as well, one of my favorite video game characters ever. And, of course, I have to do one with Kirby, who is just my boy. So, yeah, I ordered a capture card, like, last night, and it's going to be arriving on the 31st of August, so keep your eyes peeled for that. That's really all I have to say. Thank you all so much for 200 subscribers. I honestly didn't even think I would make it to 100 when I first started the channel. And just seeing how it's grown over, like, the last few months is just blown my mind. So I want to thank you all so much. It really means a lot to me that you really enjoy my content and that I'm still able to do this. Because I'm going to be real. When I first started this, I had no motivation to do YouTube at all. Like, I just sort of had it to, like, post stuff online, like art, when I first started YouTube back in 2020. But now I really feel like I have some sort of fire. There's like some kind of just external force just pushing me forward and telling me you can do it. And that force is you guys. So, thank you. Again. For like the millionth time. Anyway, Death Battle will be coming back on September 11th/12th/ whenever we get Death Battle, whenever we get Iron Man versus Batman. So I will see you all then.
Bye.